guys, I'm standing by the water. I know it's not exactly the ocean, but I really needed to get us down by some water just so I could showcase this plant of the week. I am talking about the original Endless Summer Hydrangea. Isn't this just the plant that when you drive along the seashore that you see everywhere? The classic summer plant, the Endless Summer original hydrangea with its beautiful blue, huge pom-pom heads. I love this plant so much, and I think so does everybody else. There are a couple really cool things about this plant of the week. One, we know we can manipulate the color a little bit. The blue is really the classic, but we could manipulate it and turn it a little pink by adding a little lime. The other thing that's really neat about this Endless Summer original one is that it blooms on old and new wood, which really gives us extra bloom throughout the whole season. Couple of things that you do need to know about this plant is that it does prefer morning sun and a little more afternoon shade. But what I really want to focus on is how salt tolerant this plant is and why it is so perfect down in a beachy location. So I also added some other plants that are also extremely salt tolerant, some of them that were even a surprise to me. For instance, down here, this is a silver mound Artemesia. I love this plant, and I think the silvery color goes really nice with the blue flowers of the Endless Summer Hydrangea, but I really didn't know that that was super salt tolerant, so I think that's kind of a sneaky salt tolerant plant. And then of course, there's this gorgeous Sedum, and really almost all varieties of Sedum are salt tolerant, but I just thought this little pink tone really stood out. This one is actually October Daphne Stonecrop, gorgeous. And of course, what wouldn't be a beach garden without Rosa Rugosa? This happens to be Alba. It's kind of gone through its bloom a little bit right now, but it blooms so beautifully in the springtime and super salt tolerant. You have to have a beach rose when you live down by the beach. Also, grasses, ornamental grasses really just say ocean and vacation. You could plant them anywhere. This happens to be Miscanthus Sinensis. But then here's something else that's a little sneaky for me too. This is actually a Styrax. This is a really beautiful tree that only gets to be about 10 feet tall. It's called Snowbell, has this gorgeous purple foliage, and then it gets little white flowers. Also a very salt tolerant tree. Moving on to trees, this is gorgeous. This is a Japanese Thunderhead black pine. This really would be a beautiful focal point, really look gorgeous with the Endless Summer Hydrangea, and extremely salt tolerant, also only gets to be about 10 feet tall and has a really kind of cool irregular shape that adds a lot of character to the garden. Then of course it looks great with our Endless Summer Hydrangea. We move on to a Spirea. I know Spirea can be a little typical, but the thing that's really nice about this one, this is called Painted Lady, and it has a really beautiful variegated leaf, which makes it a little extra special, and it's salt tolerant. Then of course, Mugo Pine. Mugo Pine, super salt tolerant. This happens to be a slow grower. It's actually called slow mound. And then, of course, our classic Juniper. And nothing says seashore like this one, because this one is actually named Blue Pacific Shore Juniper, ideal for a ground cover. So our plant of the week, Endless Summer, the original hydrangea, beautiful for a salt-tolerant garden if you need that. Also, it does not have to be planted by the seashore. You could plant it anywhere, and that actually would make a beautiful statement in your garden. Thanks a bunch. See you next time.